The truth is, you attract all your illnesses yourself. But of course I will explain how to get rid of them in this video. So watch until the end, because we'll do a guided meditation together that will let you get a feel of what I'm talking about. To start, we need to delve into the theory a bit. What are illnesses, where do they come from, and how can you actually heal them even without resorting to medication? Because most people usually treat the symptoms, the consequences, but not the root cause. And even if some treatments are aimed at the root cause, they don't always get to the very core of why the illness appeared. Because the essence of an illness goes much deeper than how it's usually studied in science, medicine, and so on. And there are even studies that already confirm this. Today I'll share with you my own experience. For the last 4 years, I haven't been sick a single time, not with a cold or any more serious illnesses. And that's despite being around people who were sick, including infectious diseases and so on. No matter how much time I spent with, say, people who had coronavirus, whatever their condition, whatever we were doing, I always remained healthy. And that is the result of the work I do on myself. And in this video I'll share with you how I do that. To begin, we need to understand that in a person's life, there's an external aspect, what we see, and an internal one. So this external aspect is what we see. Our body, everything around us, all the situations, the people in our lives. It's whether we're lucky or unlucky, whether we succeed at things or fail. It's how successful we are, what skills and talents we have. And that also includes whether we get sick or not, how healthy we are. All of this is determined by something internal. I call this an individual consciousness. Someone might call it mindset, someone might call it karma, someone might call it some other names. But the point is that there is something internal that is the cause of everything we see around us in our lives and of the results we currently have. In other words, what you have in your life right now is already a consequence. It is the fruit of what came just before. It is what exists in your consciousness. And so, whatever our consciousness is filled with, that is what unfolds around us. If a person is extremely negative, if they are constantly looking for someone to blame, if they are constantly criticizing someone, then they will be surrounded by many things of that nature. And that is the consequence of this person's mindset, not the other way around. So, if a person is constantly criticizing others, blaming them, arguing with them, thinking that in this way they fight the external world and it will solve their problems, in reality, that's not the case. That is already the consequence. But to understand this, you need to look inside yourself. I will also talk about all these things in more detail in my next videos, which will be coming weekly. In these videos, you'll learn to better feel the connection with yourself, to feel better in general, to achieve a completely different state of being and find out how to break free from repeating scenarios that you might be quite tired of by now. So if you're interested, please hit like and subscribe to keep up with the future updates. And now let's continue with the topic. There is a division into high frequency and low frequency energies. For clarity, let's look at this kind of a graph, a scale. Here there are low frequency energies and here there are high frequency energies. When a person is filled with low frequency energies, they behave accordingly. Essentially, a person is an empty conductor to whom nothing here belongs. They simply experience what, so to speak, flows through them. If a person is in low frequency energies, they will experience anger, envy, judgment, worries, anxiety, and so on. This usually results in a feeling of compression. You can recall for a moment how you feel when, for example, you've had an argument with someone, or when some unpleasant event has occurred. Most often, this is accompanied by compression and tension in the body. And you will probably feel that it is painful, it is unpleasant. Usually, you'll want to run away from it as quickly as possible, that is, to get rid of this state. But in reality, you need to do something a little different. Again, I will talk about this in more detail in the future videos, but today we will practice together here, and you will understand the principle. And there are high-frequency energies in which a person, while being in them, experiences joy, love, gratitude, happiness. This is what we all strive for. We always want to feel good, better than we do now. To avoid unpleasant sensations and accordingly to feel pleasant sensations. This is, one might say, a high-frequency divine energy. It is love, gratitude, unconditional love. When you simply love a person with complete devotion, and it doesn't matter to you whether they love you back, if there are any conditions for why you are doing it, just such a pure, sincere impulse from the heart. Accordingly, if a person stays in low-frequency energies for a long time, their body reacts with contraction. Our body is actually quite wise, and it initially contains everything in order to always be healthy. But this whole system starts to become imbalanced because a person spends a long time being stressed, worried, anxious, resentful, experiencing various conflict situations, and so on. As a result, tension builds up in their body. With resentment, for example, sometimes compression might form in the stomach area, and negative energy will start accumulating there, interfering with the flow of pure life energy. Imagine a pure lake, which has no inflow or outflow of water. It will eventually turn into a swamp with rapid algae bloom, and yes, it will smell badly. The same thing happens to a person if pure energy does not flow through them. Pure energy is this one. The golden one, yes. Therefore, when a person withdraws into themselves, into resentments, into worries, they make things worse for themselves, both in terms of emotional state, some kind of sensory perception, and also physically, because it is reflected in the same way on the physical level. And in these zones, a person's energy stops circulating, and the necessary substances and microelements stop being supplied, along with the blood, along with the movement of all these fluids through our body. As a result, the system that is supposed to protect us from diseases, it kind of malfunctions. And because of this, a person can develop diseases precisely in those areas where the location of these contractions, these energies, is denser. Therefore, we need to avoid this as much as possible. You need to constantly observe how you feel. You need to constantly monitor how your body feels right now. Well, it's a kind of awareness, it's a matter of practice. Again, I will delve into it more in the next videos. But what can we do now? If a person somehow fills themselves with this high-frequency energy and opens up to this flow, if they trust it completely and are completely open, then this high-frequency energy, by its properties, this is simple physics. A higher frequency absorbs a lower one, dissolves it, and brings it to itself, to its consonance. So, this energy truly begins to thoroughly fill a person's entire being and subsequently dissolves, as we can clearly observe, all these dense clots of dark, negative, so to speak, energy. And in the end, nothing remains but this protective barrier of the initial life energy, which aligns everything towards health, well-being, abundance, towards the state that was originally given to us. The only thing that prevents us from being in this state is ourselves. These are our automatic reactions that have formed at the subconscious level throughout our lives. When a person has a certain negative experience, they can shut themselves off from this world and carry this experience forward. And a certain automatic program is formed that triggers this reaction. Someone blamed you for something. Your body tensed up automatically, you shut yourself off from the world and feel extremely hurt. You feel resentment, for example, or want to hurt them in return. This is how these blockages form in the body when instead of this flow of pure energy, these clots accumulate and it interferes with the flow of this energy. But when you notice this and open up to it, they simply dissolve. And again, the person begins to recover quite quickly, much faster than it took them to get sick and bring themselves to this state. Alright, I think we've generally covered this topic. Let's do a short guided meditation. Don't worry, I'll be with you the whole time. It is quite simple. Right now, you'll be able to feel what I've been talking about through your own experience. To do this, just sit comfortably, ideally with a straight back. But if that's not very comfortable for you, you can lean on the back of your chair or armchair. And just relax, you can close your eyes. Feel the area in your heart. Not the physical heart, but the so-called sacred heart. This is the area roughly from the place where your ribs begin right here, where the ribs meet, up to your collarbone, roughly the center. Roughly in the center of your chest, try to feel that area. That's where you usually feel joy, love. Just focus your attention there. You can use your hands to help you feel something more vividly there. And concentrate on these sensations. And just stay there for a while. I am transmitting to you a flow of this energy, a high frequency energy. That dissolves all pain, all resentment, all worries. And you just feel this connection in your heart as open and relaxed as possible. Allowing this entire area to gently expand outwards from its central point and gracefully grow throughout your entire chest, extending in all directions, forward, backward, upward, and downward, creating a sense of spaciousness and openness. To the sides, up and down. Feel how this gentle warmth gradually spreads throughout your entire chest cavity, deeply flowing to all your vital internal organs, nourishing them. And to enhance this effect, you can recall something pleasant that has happened in your life, or perhaps remember someone you love very, very much, or even someone who loves you very, very much in return. Remember that love, that gratitude, that joy of experiencing pleasant moments. And just stay in that state, in that love, in that joy, in that gratitude for the moment. And try to feel this even more deeply, as if trying to find the source of this love, the very center from which this love originates within you. Because it is inside you, inside every person, and it's something everyone needs to discover. Try to discover it with your attention, through your sensations. Don't try to find the answer with your mind, with logic. Just feel and follow, dive into these sensations deep within yourself, where you find even more of this flow of love, joy, and gratitude. And try to express it now, to this moment in your life, for connecting with this love, with this gratitude, with the very source of it all inside you. And you can set a clear intention, an inner impulse, to generously share this beautiful and healing energy with all of your loved ones, to completely fill your entire body, to thoroughly fill all of the problem areas, the deeply painful zones and regions of your body with this love, allowing it to soothe and heal every part of your being. And observe carefully how this powerful energy completely fills everything that is negative and gently dissolves it away. There can be different symptoms. This is all normal. It can be accompanied by tears, strong emotions, sometimes even pain. Don't be afraid of this. This is how tension is released. And just let it out. Allow yourself to experience these sensations. And then they will leave you easily. And only this love and gratitude will remain. This is an introductory practice so that you can feel a little bit of what I'm talking about. You can discover more in my next upcoming videos, as I said. Please leave a comment about your experience with this practice. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you found this video useful. All the best. Be well.